What's up YouTube, KidMoto22 here, and I'm coming to you guys today to bring you part 2 of my road trip planning series, Road Trip Planning 101. And in this episode, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about packing. Not packing down your bike, packing like what you should bring. So let's get to it right now. All right guys. We're going to talk about packing. We're going to talk about what you need to pack on your trip when you're doing a single day, multi-day, 10-day, 14-day. How do you pack for what you're going to need when you're going on your trip? So there's a few different ways that you can think about this kind of packing situation, and a few different ways that I know that people do their packing for their bikes. So let's talk about a simple overnight trip, right? If I was going to do an overnight trip one day, I would probably pack my toiletries, one pair of jeans, one change of underwear, one change of socks, that kind of stuff. So real simple, just kind of one thing that I would need for the next day. Wearing what I have on, keeping the same jeans, and then basically a shirt, flannel, whatever you might need, and a change of underwear and a change of socks. That would be like the simplest way you could pack for like a one-day overnight. So I typically think about my clothes in terms of how much space they're going to take up and how many days I'm going to be on the road. So more oftentimes than not, when I'm thinking about, say I'm going to do a 6-day, I'm going to be gone for 6 days or 7 days, I'm likely to bring underwear for all the days I'm going to be gone and one extra. I do the same thing with shirts. So like my t-shirts, I'll bring one t-shirt for every day I'm going to be gone and one extra. That's kind of how I pack. Now I'm a notorious overpacker, and some people don't do that kind of packing, but that's the way I pack. If I was going to be gone for 6 or 7 days, I would probably bring 2 to 3 flannels. Likely for me, most of my multi-day trips have been like destination rides. So they've been like 2 days to get where I'm going. So 2 days on the road, and then a few days where I'm at and 2 days back. That kind of trip, I'm typically going to wear one pair of jeans for the 2 days down, one pair of jeans for the 2 days back, and one pair of jeans during the time I'm at my location. So 3 pairs of jeans for a 6 to 7 day trip. Now, that for some people that might be too much. For me, that's kind of where my comfort zone is at. Flannels for that kind of trip, I would probably bring 3. One flannel for the 2 days down, one flannel for the 2 days back, and one for the time that I'm there. Now, there's a whole nother method of packing that I know people do, and this is the throw as you go kind of method. So I know people that pack for these kind of trips that will go to Walmart before their trip. They're going to be gone for 6 days. They'll buy 6 pairs of underwear, 6 white t-shirts, and throw it in their bag. And they wear them one day, throw them out. Now, I'm not a proponent for this. I'm not saying that you should do this. That could be considered kind of wasteful, but you have to do what you're comfortable with. This is a method that people use for packing. That way you're never putting dirty clothes in with your clean clothes. There's some other methods too that I know people use, which is they'll use cinch bags or cinch sacks, either one that you want to call it. And there's a couple of styles out there that have a divider in them to keep your clean and dirty clothes separate, and you can cinch them down so they take up less space. Now, I kind of use the roll method of packing, so I roll everything up, and it tends to be a pretty good way to pack in saddlebags. So I have saddlebags on my bike. So if you don't know, I ride a 2017 Road King Special, and in my saddlebags, I have saddlebag liners, like bags that you can take out and put in there. And I always roll my things up because they pack really nicely in those, and I can fit everything I need into those bags, and they kind of slide right down into there. And so that's been my kind of preferred method. I don't use cinch sacks, but usually what I do is as I'm traveling, I will start to move clothes from one bag to another and try to keep all my clean clothes in one spot, all my dirty clothes in one spot. It's not always possible, but I really try to keep them separate as much as I can. keeping clothes packed in one space, and sometimes like gear, rain gear, you know, heated gear, stuff like that packed in another space. And then if you're a content creator like me, oftentimes I'm bringing camera gear along. So it just depends on what you need to bring. If you're tent camping, you might need to bring your tent camping supplies, your eating supplies, that kind of stuff. I'll put a link to a video up here of how I packed down my bike for a camping trip, and you can see kind of some of the camping supplies that I used. But for clothes packing, that's kind of the method that I used for clothes packing. Let me know in the comments below how you pack for long trips, if you've gone on any, and if you kind of use that method of packing. I typically try to pack only the toiletries I am gonna need for my trip. I really try not to overpack toiletries because they take up a lot of space and they're kind of heavy. But for the most part, that's what I do. Everybody's a little bit different in how they pack and what they prepare for. Some people might bring less jeans because they're more comfortable that way. I found just multiple days on the road. If I'm taking 2 days to get to my destination, I'm typically traveling over multiple states, and I'm going to be covered in bugs. That's a guaranteed. And so I'm just probably not going to want to wear those jeans when I get where I'm going. However, unless I'm going on a camping trip and I know I'm going to be around a campfire and I'm going to be you know, on my hands and knees a lot, that kind of stuff, you know, I might wear the jeans that I traveled in for an extended period of time, just because, you know, you're going to get, you know, kind of dirty and stuff at the campsite. So that all depends on that part of it too. The other thing that you're always going to want to do when camping, traveling and or camping, is make sure that your clothes are packed on your bike in a place that they are not going to get wet. The worst thing you can do on a motorcycle trip is run into weather and maybe you've got your rain gear and everything on so you're dry, but you get to where you're going and you haven't put your clothes in a bag that they're going to stay dry, and everything you have is wet. So if you have saddlebags, put your clothes in the saddlebags. If you don't, and you're running a soft tail or something without hard bags, pack your clothes in a dry bag. If you don't know what a dry bag is, get out there, check the interwebs. You're going to need a dry bag, because a dry bag is a great tool for either both motorcycle camping and long motorcycle trips to put your belongings in that you really want to keep dry. That's a really important thing on any type of motorcycle trip. So that's about what I do and how I pack for my clothes for any motorcycle trip. But if you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer all those comments about, you know, how I pack and what I pack for my clothes. But that's about it that I have for you guys today. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. I'll do a couple more videos on the road trip planning 101. Again, these are just kind of easy ways if you're really wanting to get out there and get on the road. I'm just giving you some easy ways you can do it. Don't be afraid. Get out there, do a road trip, get on your bike and ride. These kind of things, like I said before in my other video, road trip planning 101, you know, putting miles on my bike is really my passion, riding long trips. And so I've kind of gotten it down to a science for me and what I'm comfortable with. You know, it might be different for you. So again, if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. I'll put a link to another video that you might like over here or over here. And I'll put the subscribe button up here too. Don't be afraid to subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. Subscription is free, doesn't cost you anything. And I appreciate your time. This is Kid Moto. I'm out.